hello everybody, and welcome to the IV. The vibes out here are going crazy. We're going in. I have another exciting video for you guys today. I have the computer booted up here. We are going over and reviewing Post Malone's F-1 Trillion Country album. Now, before we start, there is a Q&A in the community right now. If you have any questions for me for the future video, late August, then go ahead and hop over there and ask the questions. Your name will be anonymous. So, for the album, it looks like, let me see here. Looks like there's, okay. I didn't know there was 2 discs. So earlier this morning I actually went and checked on this album, and there was only these 18 songs. That was under an hour of listening. And I listened to it over and over and over. And I kind of just give you guys my opinion on it. We're not going to be nice because Post Malone's a great guy. We're just going to give honest reviews here like I did with Maddie's album. Obviously, I'm an artist. I'm a rapper myself. So when it comes to country music, when it comes to pop music, when it comes to other genres of music, I'm just your average listener. I don't really break down lyrics too much. I don't sit there and, I don't sit there and overanalyze a country album just because country is like my least favorite genre. But when it comes to Post Malone is one of my most favorite artists of all time. He's the GOAT. And when he goes and drops a new genre, you have to give it a try. Especially for him, he's very genuine and he's a country boy himself, so it kind of makes sense that this is what ended up happening. So what it looks like to me is that this first, disc is what they're calling it, and I didn't even know the second one was out, so there's apparently, what in rap terms you would call, or pop in rap terms you would call the deluxe album, where you add an extra 5 to 10 songs. Looks like he dropped 9 personal songs, so I am not reviewing disc 2. I'll be reviewing disc 1 because I have not heard disc 2. So an overall for the album, I'll go ahead and give it because Post Malone is a pop star now, moving from, the rap-ish, melodic rap era into pop, and then into his own little niche there for with the acoustic stuff. He's not a country singer, and you can obviously tell throughout this entire album on F-1 Trillion. You can tell when these country artists get on, like Blake Shelton, Dolly Parton, Morgan Wallen, Hank Williams Jr., you can get that feel of the features are actually pulling the song, the weight of the song, because Post Malone, if we're being really honest with each other here, he is a pop rap melodic singer. He is not a country artist, and he kind of tries to use some of the lyrics and this and that you would hear in a pop song or in other areas of his discography, but it doesn't really fit some of these songs. So for that reason, it's gonna be a 7 out of 10 for me. I just can't. He did good. You gotta think, it's his first time trying it. Did anyone listen to Blake Shelton's or Brad Paisley's first album and was like, oh my god, every song on this album is great? I will say though, Have a Heart was one of my favorite ones. Mexico was one of my favorite ones because I love Billy Strings. He's I love that style of country music. Normal country music I don't really mess with, but when it comes to Billy Strings, that little giddy, that fast country music, I absolutely love that, and it's actually doing a lot better than every other song on here other than the first 2 songs. But so you had the release of I Had Some Help with Morgan Wallen a while back, and hate that song. That song is overplayed now on the radio. Morgan Wallen was absolutely annoying in this. The whole song's annoying to me at this point. That song's like F tier. Like, I don't understand. Like, he's basically saying, like, the whole point of the song is saying that it takes two people to break up and mess up his life, and he had some help doing it, which means the other person was, helping him ruin his life and break things up, whatever. But the rest of these songs, like Pour Me a Drink with Blake Shelton, hate it. But yeah, we'll just kind of go from like 1 to 18. So Wrong Ones, not a bad song. Every song on this album gives me like melancholy, like Hank Williams, believe it or not, vibes. That like meow, meow, like the sad, slow bass guitar. The instrumentals are really slow and kind of sad. Some of them are a little bit faster and more giddy, like the love songs that he has on here. But Wrong Ones, Tim McGraw's a legend, so when you have a guy like Tim McGraw on here, you're gonna have to do a lot to outweigh him on his feature, and Post Malone didn't carry his weight. I mean, like, he carried his weight in the sense of, like, you can tell it's a Post Malone song, but in the sense of a country song that Tim McGraw is on, Tim McGraw, like, just comes out and just does his thing, and that's just what seems to be the pattern is with all of these songs with the features on them. I don't hate it, I don't love it. It's a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, something like that. And then we actually have Hank Williams' son, Hank Williams Jr., with Finer Things, and this definitely sounds like a Hank Williams Jr. song. Like, it's just straight up like just one of his songs with Post Malone, and the intro is what it felt like. There was nothing notable that I remember from this song other than Hank Williams Jr. did pretty good. And I don't mean to hate on Post Malone. I know I said I hate country albums, I hate country, but there's nothing really memorable about this song, so 6 out of 10. I don't know, but I Had Some Help, hate that. We're not even gonna talk about that song. And Pour Me a Drink, we're not even gonna, like, I Had Some Help and Pour Me a Drink with Blake Shelton and Morgan Wallen. Those two songs can be deleted from this entire album. I cannot stand them. Sure, Pour Me a Drink was okay first listen, it was still annoying, but then now it's on country radio like 24/7 and pop radio 24/7. Like, get it off. Like, at work we have to listen to this like at least 10 times a day because we don't have auxes in the truck, so like, it's horrible. I wish Pour Me a Drink and I Had Some Help was gone off this, and this album would be a little bit better. These two songs, in my opinion, are annoying and do not really think they're good for, like, I guess, singles if you want to make a lot of money. They're fine. Don't like them though. Have a Heart with Dolly Parton. Yeah, actually a good song. This is like a 8 out of 10 for me. Dolly Parton's part, she's a little bit older now. She still killed it though. She still killed it. Post Malone obviously keeps doing his thing with the Post Malone vibe. You can definitely tell. If you just added a pop beat over Post Malone's verse, it could just be just a Post Malone song. Like, it doesn't have to be country. And that's why he's so good at what he does. He can swap these genres and do whatever he wants to do, and it's cool. But it doesn't, like, his voice just doesn't really fit, I guess, country, you know what I'm saying? That's my biggest, like, thing, is he doesn't seem to be fitting the genre all too well. But this song, they both did pretty decent on here. I actually enjoyed listening to the song, so that's a bonus. What Don't Belong to Me wasn't a bad listen, wasn't a great listen, it was good. It was like 7.5 out of 10 for me. Nothing memorable again from these like single Post Malone only songs. For some reason, it's just usually the takeaways that I'm getting are with these features. And every song but 3 or 4 songs, no, every song but 3 songs on the album had a feature on them. So but yeah, there's nothing memorable about this. I know I feel like a straight hater right now. I'm not trying to hate at all. Like, it's just my taste in music. So if you guys like disagree and actually love the album, leave me a comment down below and give me your opinion. But yeah, 7.5 out of 10. Goes without saying with Brad Paisley. Brad Paisley was good on this. Again, the features are just overweighing Post Malone. That's why it's kind of going down. For me, like, I don't necessarily love Post Malone's parts on the songs that have actual country singers on them, because they've been doing it for so long and they're so good at what they do that they just sound so natural on these things. But goes without saying, the feature, great. The Post Malone's part was decent. This will be 8 out of 10 just because Brad Paisley kind of picked it back up for Post Malone and put him back in his bootstraps. But guy for that with Luke Combs, another annoying listen. Wasn't horrible. It was a 6 out of 10. It just, Luke Combs was for some reason was annoying on this song, but later on when he's featured on Missing You Like This, he was like, it was like a good song. So I don't understand like who's writing these songs. I don't know if it is Post Malone or Luke Combs. Let me see here if I can. No, I can't necessarily see, but I'm trying to see here if it says. Okay, the composer. I'm not seeing anywhere where it's saying who's the writer. It just says main artist. It doesn't like necessarily show all credits. Okay, let's see. Written by. Okay, so Post Malone. Okay, so all the songs, it shows me right here. Each song was basically written partially by these couple of people, which would be Austin Post, Charlie Handsome, Ernest Smith, which is just Ernest, James McNair, don't know who that is, Louis Bell, who seems to be, Louis Bell is actually on every single song. He's also the producer and the composer. And also written by Luke Combs. I know Luke Combs and Ernest are like big country writers for other people. So I wonder if Ernest and Post Malone and Luke Combs actually wrote most of these songs. That would make a lot more sense, because it sounds like a combination of all their songs kind of put together. But yeah, so guy for that was just another annoying kind of okay, mediocre song, 6 out of 10. Nosedive was awesome. This would be a 10 out of 10. Nosedive with Lainey Wilson. Lainey Wilson did good. Post Malone did good. Actually sound like a country song, I'm not gonna lie. But when you get to the chorus is too short, and on top of that, when he says nosedive, like, it doesn't fit at all. He needed to add an extra word to fit it, but instead of doing that, he just prolongs or elongates nosedive, the actual word, and it doesn't fit. It's still a 9 out of 10, but because the obviously the hook is repeated 2 or 3 times in the song, it's not killer. Not a 10 out of 10. Losers with Jelly Roll. I don't know. They kind of sounded the same. This definitely sounded like Jelly Roll wrote it. Actually, the whole album kind of sounds like a Ernest Jelly Roll Luke Combs album. Jelly Roll kind of did like a little bit of rapping there for like 2 seconds. And sounded good. Jelly Roll's part was okay. Post Malone's part was okay. We'll go ahead and give it a 7 out of 10. I didn't love the transition over to Jelly Roll, because he picked up the pace with the words, because up until this point, when the second verse would come on for, like, you know, Luke Combs, Lainey Wilson, Post Malone do his part, hook, and then the feature comes on, the second half of the song, they were still doing the same cadence, and they were still doing the same rhyme schemes like most country songs do nowadays, and then the hook would repeat itself afterwards. This song is the only song that doesn't seem to really do that, doesn't follow that, and for that, I'll give it bonus points, because I like going against the grain a little bit, and it goes against the grain, but the transition from the hook into Jelly Roll kind of, I wouldn't say necessarily rapping, it is in a form of rapping, melodic rap, but he picks up the cadence and goes a little bit faster than Post Malone and outdoes does Post Malone a tad bit there for a little bit, and I like that. But at the same time, it doesn't really fit the album, and I'm a big stickler about, like, if you're gonna make an album and let it stick. If you're gonna do songs and they're all gonna go against the grain, then go ahead and do that. But when you just throw in a song here where Jelly Roll is just gonna do his thing and Post Malone's trying to copy and paste the same, ratio or same idea in each single song, and then Jelly Roll just comes in, just like, screw that, I'm doing my own thing, which is awesome. But you follow the flow, man. Copy and paste, copy and paste. 7 out of 10 for Losers. Devil I've Been, 10 out of 10 for me. Love this song. I don't know what it is, but the ain't the devil, ain't the devil I've been. That, like, part, like, I could repeat that in my head a gazillion times. Absolutely love that part, for real. If it was just that part, it would be F-1 trillion for me. But Ernest did really well. I'm not a big Ernest, like, listener. Like, when I listen to country music, it's gonna be like the normal, like Billy Strings, Luke Combs, Chris Stapleton. Who's the guy who sings Feathered Indians? Tyler, like Chandler, Tyler, something like that. And Zach Bryan, which I'm surprised Zach Bryan's not on here, because aren't they, like, big fans of each other? Like, I'm really surprised about that. But that's usually who I'm turning to when I listen to country music, and it's only every once in a while if I'm in the mood. And when I say if I'm in the mood, it usually is me at work for like an hour and then I switch back, just because when a new song drops, I try to listen to everything that has been released or is getting released over the weekend or the day it drops. And I just don't listen to country music enough to be like a big country music fan. But I didn't really know Ernest before. He did Flower Shops with Morgan Wallen, I believe, and that song was phenomenal. Love that song. It's one of my favorite country songs, actually, of all time. But Ernest did really well. Post Malone did really well. His hook in this, I don't know if Ernest wrote the hook or not, because Ernest wrote most of the album, but with, obviously the other 6 guys I mentioned before, it was a good song. It was a really good song. The hook was written phenomenally, and was composed really well. So that's a 10 out of 10 for me. Now moving on to Never Love You Again, which is the 12th song on the album. So we're getting towards a little bit past the halfway point here. The later half of the album, I guess we can say. I don't know who Sierra Farrell is, and I never heard her voice. I don't know if she's like a guitarist, if she's like a drummer, who she is. I know, like, Travis Barker will get on a rock song and just drum for them. You got the guy from Motley Crue, what is his name? Nicky Six, or whatever his name is, does like guitarist work and composing work for other songs and this and that, like Billy Strings. I think actually didn't have a part in the Mexico song. He might have. I can't remember. But Billy Strings is also known for doing his thing on the strings and just going crazy. On certain songs where he doesn't even have a part, he's just featured as a guitarist in it. So I don't know if Sierra Farrell is one of those people, composer, guitarist, music maker of some kind. Obviously is what she is, but because I was kind of waiting for the feature to kick in, I never really was paying attention too much to what Post Malone was saying. But it was actually a good song. It was like an 8 out of 10 because his love songs are usually, like, Post Malone's like love songs are usually his best songs. Whether he's talking about his love for alcohol or women, they're usually his best songs. But yeah, 8 out of 10 for that one. Missing You Like This, another 10 out of 10 for me, because Luke Combs did awesome in this song for some reason. He did terrible in the other song. I just don't like the other song. But Post Malone and Luke Combs actually matched pretty well in this song. Everything went and mixed pretty well together. The song before, Guy Like That, is just annoying. Obviously built for the radio, built to be overplayed by the radio. and built to be absolutely annoying for the rest of our generation. So it was a 10 out of 10 for Missing You Like This with Luke Combs and Post Malone. Now, California Sober is a like negative 1500. Not actually, I'll give it like a 3 for effort, but they are trying something here. Obviously, copy and paste what the rest of the album has done, other than the one song with Jelly Roll. But California Sober, which is actually another name of one of my most favorite country songs, with Billy Strings in it, and Hank Williams? It might not be. I don't think it's Hank Williams, but California Sober by Billy Strings is actually a better version of the same song name. So Chris Stapleton did not belong on this song. He did not fit it. It didn't sound well. It sounded weird. Like, Chris Stapleton is an amazing singer-songwriter. He's made some of like the greatest country songs I have ever heard in my entire life. Some of our, like my dad's life, you know, certain songs can't match up to a Chris Stapleton song. He just does not. This is not a Chris Stapleton song. He does not belong to be on this. You kind of did him dirty, Post Malone, by paying him to be on here. So, like, it's whatever, but 3 out of 10 for real, because I see what you guys were trying to do here. Chris Stapleton was obviously paid for a verse, did his thing, didn't sound well, didn't go well, wasn't composed well, was weirdly like crafted, in my opinion. Don't understand why Chris Stapleton is on this type of like faster country beat where they're not even talking about the shit that Chris Stapleton talks about. So if you're gonna have a guy like Chris Stapleton, which is a god at country music, you can't just do your own thing, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't like it, which is sad, because I absolutely love Post Malone, so hating on him like this much is absolutely mind-boggling to me. But Right About You, again, these, I keep saying it, nothing memorable about these Post Malone singles on this album. I don't even remember a verse from this song. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, the whole album kind of went over my head because how much I disliked it, which sucks, really did. Yeah, there's not much to say about it, and if that tells you anything about if you're gonna come listen to this album, listen to the songs with just features in it. You're gonna enjoy it a lot better. But after that, rating wise, Right About You, I don't remember it. Not gonna rate it. So because I don't remember a single verse from that song, I'm not gonna rate it. But Mexico, or Mexico, featuring Billy Strings, he might have had a verse part in there, or he was just playing the strings. But this was a good song. 10 out of 10. Post Malone did really well. It seems like if Post Malone would have done the whole album with like a Billy String feature, he would have probably made a lot more money, probably would have done a lot better streaming wise, and I probably would have loved the album. A lot of people probably would have loved the album because Mexico with Billy Strings was just a good song. Was like, all around, it was a pretty phenomenal song. And obviously this type of country beat or flow fits Post Malone a lot better than him trying to be satire and doing something he's not used to. But yeah, so 10 out of 10. So my favorite song actually is the very last song on the album, and it's kind of ironic that it drops this early because Yours by Post Malone is actually like a wedding song, and me and my fiance are getting married in like 3 months, and it's like a bride father dance, and I think we might be playing it at the wedding because the second I heard this played at one of his one of his live performances, and I saw the video of that. I went to go look it up, wasn't dropped yet, and then I actually listened to the unreleased version of it, which was a lot different than this one actually. But this. So this song's phenomenal. Love it. Love it. 11 out of 10 for me. Love the last song. Now for this disc 2, I'll probably listen to it, but I'll probably never react to it just because I just don't. Like, I hate to be this way. I'm never this negative about music. I absolutely love music, and I respect what Post Malone is doing here. He's brilliant. He is a genius. Which, actually, this is a weird, kind of idea here. So, with 18 songs on this album, disc 1, you get under an hour. You get 56 minutes of listening time, which is the shortest country album of of my life that I've ever seen. Usually they're well over an hour because country music's a lot slower. Actually, Zach Bryan added that freaking 5,000 song album, which was I think in the 3 hours or something like that range. But this, for 18 songs, I've seen rap albums go over 56 minutes with 18 songs. So obviously you have a couple really short songs in here. You have a couple just regular decently long, Wrong Ones with Tim McGraw was literally a 2-minute song, and the last minute and 15 seconds was just a band playing, for real. But if this gives you any idea how short the album actually is, with 18 songs, 56 minutes on disc 1, disc 2 is now added, I guess, today at some point in time, or this weekend at some point in time. I never even saw. It adds under 30 minutes of listening with 10 extra songs or 9 extra songs. And actually one of those is a 5-minute song. So what is going on here? Okay, he has the first song on disc 2 is really short. Okay, and so is the last 2. That makes a lot more sense. But yeah, it seems like he's got a lot of merch here going along with it. A lot of this is not like Post Malone. These ball cap, these trucker hats, they're not Richardson's. I ain't copping, son. I'm just gonna be honest with you. He dropped this second one. There's another release. Hold on. Okay. It is a deluxe album that I'm looking at here, disc 2. So you have F-1 Trillion, then you have F-1 Trillion Long Bed, which is obviously just the rap version of a deluxe album. But yeah, man. So let me see here. Hopefully this doesn't start playing. I want to review, at some point in time, I want to review Austin by Post Malone, because this album was just beautiful. I love this album. A lot of people hated on it. A lot of people are going to hate on the country album like I did, but that's for another time, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this album review. 7 out of 10 for me, 7.5 out of 10 for me. Album, what I understood what he was doing there, I respect what he was doing there, but it's not for everybody. Didn't love it. So, for those reasons, 7 out of 10 for me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.